My name is Brent Joel, and I am a senior saxophone player in the high school band. I have been playing saxophone for about 7 years, and I want to start this off by saying that I really recommend that you try out for the Audition band. Even if you don't actually make a position in the band, it can still be a great experience to better yourself as a person and as a musician. In this video, I will talk about 5 steps or 5 different parts: how to prepare, anxious, tips to help, what to expect when you arrive for the audition, the moment you have prepared for the audition, and when you get your results, what's next. Part 1, how to prepare. Now first, I want to say make sure your instrument is in good working condition. If there are any issues, make sure to notify your band director as soon as possible and to get that fixed. Also, if you are a woodwind and use a reed, make sure that you have 3 extra broken-in reeds because your reed could chip at any time and it's just good to be safe. Now, for your music, you have to practice. You've probably been told this many times, and I will tell you again, practice is very important. When you actually practice, make sure you practice with a tuner and metronome. There have been many times where I have forgot to use a metronome while I practice, and I was sometimes inconsistent with the tempo of my piece. And also, a tuner is just good to practice with in general because it's making sure you're playing the actual right notes. So with that out of the way, next it's how you should practice. When you practice, you have to have a good, consistent time schedule. If you don't want to practice too much that you unmotivate yourself, but you also don't want to practice too less that you don't learn the actual music. So after you balance it out, when you actually practice, just try to go through the music. Even if you mess up, just go through it, and then after you go through it, maybe go back and go over certain sections, mostly ones that you messed up. After you practice, I recommend to think of one thing that you improved on. This can help a lot with motivation, and I use it every single time. Another thing you can do is after you practice, you can reward yourself. For example, if you had like a good practice, you can maybe eat a piece of candy or something like that. It's whatever you want. Now, when you actually practice, try to imagine the judges are right in front of you. Some things that can help are maybe practicing from friends or families or even bandmates. This will get you used to the nervousness, so when you actually go into the audition, you won't be as scared. Now, another thing that's very important to go over are your skills. The skills are very crucial for the actual audition, and trust me, one of the first things they decide in the audition are your skills. Anxiety can be a very big part of the auditions and can also be very detrimental to it. So I'm going to give some tips of how you can help this. Now first, the best antidote to anxiety is being prepared. Make sure you practice a lot and get used to the music so when you go into auditions you won't be as scared. Practice facing your doubts, but with questions are common. You shouldn't reject them or give in to them. You should try to embrace them and know that nervousness is normal and it's alright to be nervous. Being nervous actually means that you care about what you're doing. Some things to remember are don't panic if you make a mistake, just try to keep on going. Exert some energy before your audition, you don't want to be too hyper, but also skip caffeine. Caffeine has been shown to give negative effects and can make you lose concentration. And make sure you skip that caffeine before the audition. And also, finally, use breathing techniques to kind of help you. Make sure you breathe in, hold, and then exhale, mostly if you're really anxious. Now, this next section, take with a slight grain of salt because I don't know and it could kind of change a little bit, but this is what you should kind of generally expect when you arrive at the audition. So first, wherever it is, you arrive there, and then you'll usually be given a number or a time or something like that you're supposed to go out. But usually when you first arrive, after you've given the number, you'll go into this room with a bunch of other players. Now, don't be intimidated by them. It's very common for the players to try to play the music as fast or loud as they can just to try to scare you, but honestly, they're just being obnoxious, so just ignore them. But what you'll do is you'll first get your cuts of your music because you usually do not play all the songs. So after you get your cuts, you have to try to find the room you're auditioning in, but there should be people to help you. After that, you just wait till your time. Don't try to over practice or over play, or your lips might get tired. So only like practice a little bit, take a break, practice a little bit, and then only do it in certain amounts. Now, when it gets close to your audition time, make sure you're fully in tune and warmed up. And then when it's time for you to go to auditions. You'll probably have to wait in a line. And also, you will be able to hear the other people audition, but just ignore them. Don't try to listen to them at all. But then finally, they should call your name or they should call your number or something. And then it's your time to go. So now you go into the room, the audition room, and then just go up to the stand. There should be like music on there with all the cuts, but bring your music just in case. And then just breathe. Just take a deep breath in, hold, then exhale. The only people in those should be the judges, but they're covered up by this usually blanket or something like that, so you can't see them. And this moderator who's just there, just ignore them. They're just usually a student or something like that. So you will go in there, and then they will usually give you some signal that you can stop playing. Usually it will be you may begin or something like that. So you'll take a deep breath in, hold, exhale, do that again, and then play your scales. Go through all your scales, make sure to play consistently, and don't stop. After that, after you're done with all that, take another deep breath in, hold, exhale, then play your solo piece. And then after that, take a deep breath in, hold, exhale, then play your fast piece. After that, just leave and you're done. Congratulations, you have completed the all region auditions. So now I want to say this, no matter what the outcome is, if you got first, if you got last, or anywhere in between, you should be proud of yourself because you have worked hard and put in time and effort. The original auditions are not about the outcome, but it's about bettering yourself as a musician on the way through. Thank you.